decides to give the Justice Department her private email server and a thumb drive with her emails on it. Remember the big news conference back at the United Nations almost 6 months ago, she said it will stay private. Now she's decided she has no choice. The FBI is investigating. Now, to be clear, she says none of the information that passed through that private server was classified at the time. The Inspector General told Congress just yesterday some of it was top secret, later designated top secret. Where's this going? Is this just a, see, I did nothing wrong, or are we now in the land of the uncertain?
I think we're in the land of the uncertain. I mean, she has just been totally unable to put this story to rest. And I don't know how she or her people ever thought that they would be able to put it to rest without being totally forthcoming, especially given the preoccupation, not to say obsession, of the Republicans with this issue and the investigations. And so maybe this will finally put it to rest. Maybe we'll finally be satisfied that she has nothing to hide. But the questions are going to continue, and this story is going to continue to chip away at her image and to be a distraction from some of the more substantive things that she's doing. One of the big questions is what's on the server, because she says it was wiped. Now, sometimes you can recover things, sometimes you can't. It depends on what level of wiping was involved. We get into this, where this goes next, how much does this help or hurt? Secretary of State John Kerry, in an interview with CBS yesterday, says when he writes emails now, he assumes the Russians and the Chinese are going to read them.
We are deeply involved in fighting back against this on a daily basis, but right now it's pretty much the Wild West, so to speak.
This is the Republican argument. If you know it's the Wild West and you know people are trying to read it, why did you have a private email server with no government supervision, with no, I mean, maybe it's actually more secure than the government, but why is it that the government's at least not watching this to see if people are trying to attack it?
Yeah, nothing that keeps cybersecurity in the news as a major issue is helpful to Hillary Clinton right now because of all those questions. And so when John Kerry comes out and says that and gets a headline for it, there are some downstream effects. And people say, well, wait a second, if we can't keep the State Department's server secure, if we can't keep the Pentagon's server secure, this massive Office of Personnel Management hack, well, then doesn't that raise even more questions about this personal server?
Now, if you ask Democrats, is this an issue? Most Democrats say no. And yet, at the same time, Democrats say no, this is not an issue. Look at this. Brand new Franklin Pierce Boston Herald poll out this morning. Bernie Sanders, 44%. Hillary Clinton, 37%. First time Bernie Sanders has been in the lead in the state of New Hampshire. Can you connect those dots? Or is this all just Bernie's doing a great job out there?
It's both things, but I think it clearly shows that the Clinton campaign continuing to feel that they could ignore Bernie Sanders, that's not going to work. She's going to have to engage him at this point. She has not mentioned him, to my knowledge. She has not wanted to acknowledge the tremendous crowds he's drawing. And the line from her people has always been, well, it's one thing to draw a big crowd. Those aren't votes. That's not the same as actually being competitive. Now he's really competing with her, albeit just in New Hampshire. And there are lots of questions about his broader appeal within the party base. But she's going to have to deal with the preference of Democratic voters for another candidate.
Earn it. She's going to have to work hard and earn it as she juggles the investigation.